Hitler's reaction to the outbreak of World War I, 1914. Then unknown, Adolf Hitler cheers with the crowd in Munich. Prostitutes behind bars in a brothel, Japan, 1890. Most of these women, likely from Korea or China, were sold by their families or husbands to repay debts. Chinese justice. A man is publicly flogged for breaking the law, 1900. A glimpse into historic public punishment systems. 1945, France. A French woman is publicly shamed and has her head shaved for having a relationship with a German soldier. Scoliosis treatment device, 1880s. A brutal-looking early orthopedic tool. Annie Edson Taylor fulfilled a lifelong dream to be sent over Niagara Falls in a barrel. She did it at age 63 in 1901 and survived. Gas chamber for horses, Germany, 1942. Used to treat skin diseases, but it looked terrifying. Jacob Miller was shot in the head in 1863 and walked away. The bullet remained in his skull for decades. Suffragette force-fed during hunger strike. Holloway Prison, UK, 1911. A shocking photo from the women's voting rights movement. India, 1903. British colonizers made locals carry them on their backs, a disturbing symbol of imperial arrogance. Vibration therapy, 1890s. A curious treatment for headaches of the era. Wartime improvisation, 1942. Stockings were scarce in World War II, so women painted lines down their legs to fake the look. 1983, USA. A stripper was arrested for her inadequate underwear. In court, she gave undeniable proof that everything was legally covered. Ella Williams, aka Madame Aboma, was 7 feet 6 inches, 2.25 meters tall. She became a famous performer in the US and Europe. Lucia Zarate, the lightest adult ever recorded. At age 17, she weighed only 4 pounds. She died from exposure in 1890 after her circus train was stranded in the Sierra Nevada. Japanese children enjoying fresh snow, 1950s. HMS Hermione's ship cat, Convoy, had his own hammock. He died with 87 crew members when the ship was torpedoed on June 16, 1942. St. Nicholas Parade in Austria. St. Nicholas rides a white horse while Krampus warns children to behave. U.S., 1939. Poor farmers slept in warehouses, unable to return home until their harvest sold. They couldn't afford a second trip. Hannah Stilley, born in 1746, is considered the earliest born person ever photographed. Stefan Bobrowski, also known as Lionel the Lion-Faced Man, was born in Poland in 1890. He had hypertrichosis. His entire body was covered in hair. Chinese laborers carrying tea bales, 1917. 80-year-old Tom, called the last cannibal of Fiji, in 1905, photographed after cannibalism had officially ended on the islands. American Arctic explorer Robert Peary aboard the SS Roosevelt, 1908, dressed in full polar gear. Madame Gustaka, an Ethiopian woman with traditional lip stretching, became a sideshow act in New York. She was often shown smoking a pipe. Early motorhome, 1922. The first Coca-Cola bottle sold to the public, 1894. 15th century underwear found during castle renovations in Lengburg, Austria. A sensational discovery in medieval fashion history. Victorians loved morbid photography. Beheaded portraits with people holding their own severed heads were popular photo illusions in the 1800s. Bulgaria, 1990s. People wait to see the legendary mystic Vanga, hoping for a glimpse into their future. Victorian baby bottle, meant to simplify breastfeeding. Impossible to clean properly, it caused a rise in infant deaths and earned the nickname murder bottle. United Kingdom, 1943. A proud member of the Women's Corps shows off her new tattoo, a symbol of rebellion and style. Nurses carry children during gas mask drills, London Hospital, 1940. British and Italian forces clashed in Egypt during World War II, 1940. The Italians won this battle, stabilizing the front for 3 months. John F. Kennedy Jr., age 3, salutes his father's casket, U.S., 1963. 1910, New York. 4 young girls send blessings to people 100 years into the future. This is how Disney's Bambi was animated, by hand, frame by frame, 1942. Arrested black protesters, USA, 1959. Segregation laws forbade them from eating in white establishments. Navajo baby in a traditional cradleboard, 1930s. Children playing with tires, Alberta, Canada, 1920. Franz Reichelt tested his parachute suit by jumping off the Eiffel Tower. It failed. He died instantly on February 4, 1912. Jenny, arrested in 1924 for illegal alcohol distribution. She hid flasks under her fur coat and made thousands during Prohibition. Prettiest legs contest. Women wore pillowcases over their heads to keep the focus on their legs. U.S., 1951. World's largest woman and smallest man, July 1922. Nellie Lane weighed 641 pounds. Clarence Howardhan weighed 2 pounds at age 9. The bent prow of HMT Olympic after it rammed and sank. German U-boat U-103, May 12, 1918. Violet Jessup, Queen of Sinking Ships. She survived the Titanic, the Olympic, and the Britannic, all within 5 years. A Vietnamese boy shines a U.S. soldier's boots. Saigon, 1968. His gaze says more than words. Mona Lisa being retrieved from a wartime hiding place, 1945. The painting was saved from Nazi looting. Soviet T-3485 tanks lining up before the Battle of Berlin, 1945. Wedding on a high wire, France, 1954. 20 meters above ground, no safety gear, just rings and courage. Loading a 5 megabyte hard drive into a plane, 1956. This massive IBM unit weighed over a ton. Dog-drawn carts in the 1920s Belgium. With horse shortages, over 15,000 carts were pulled by dogs. Cats on a Farm, 1954. Simple life, captured in a tender moment. Boston Blizzard of 1978, USA. 73 people died. Over 4,000 were injured during the relentless 3-day storm. Strongman Galen Goff lets a truck drive over him at a California stadium, 1935. Operation Overlord, June 6, 1944. The Normandy landings marked the beginning of the liberation of Nazi-occupied Western Europe. Toy factory workers painting dolls' faces, 1950s. It's believed many employees were deaf-mute, often hired in such industries. World War II, veteran playing guitar to survive, Japan, 1951. Giant manta ray caught off the coast of Karachi, India, 1933. These sea creatures can reach 9 meters in width and weigh up to 3 tons. Tokyo citizens mourn the death of Hachiko, 1935. The loyal dog waited for his owner at the station every day, even after his passing. Princess Margaret caught in a gust of wind. Unlike Queen Elizabeth II, whose dresses had sewn in weights, Margaret allowed herself more freedom, to the delight of nearby students. Halloween at an American school, 1980s. A boy and girl in traditional wedding attire, taken during the final year of the Joseon Dynasty, Korea, 1910. Unusual dog transport method, Paris, 1920s. Mongolian men selling hunting hawks in Beijing, circa 1900. These birds were used for falconry, not food. Cleaning a church, Leipzig, Germany, 1920. Crime reporter questions a gang member during his arrest, Russia, 1991. Reporters watch a nuclear test during Operation Plum Bob, USA, 1957. The largest and most controversial nuclear series on U.S. soil, 29 bombs detonated. 1753. Russian physicist Georg Wilhelm Richmann was killed testing atmospheric electricity. He accidentally created ball lightning that struck his forehead. Chain Bridge in rural China, 1930s. On September 19, 1989, a bomb exploded aboard a French DC-10 flying from Congo to Paris. 171 people died. Libyan intelligence was later blamed. Iron lungs in polio hospital wards, 1950s. Tokyo, 1940s. Food delivery courier balances an impossible load. Japan pioneered home delivery culture. A lamb cuddling a sleeping boy, March 16, 1940. Boy with his pet owl, 1933. France c. 1945. Boys staring through a bakery window at trays of fresh pastries and bread. House sitting on train tracks after the Great New England Hurricane, New York, 1938. Kate Camberley rescued over 600 animals since 1943. She turned her home into a dog shelter and fought officials to protect her animals. Hop pickers in England, 1928. Their balance while working at height is impressive. The forced relocation of Native American tribes in the late 19th century, a tragic consequence of U.S. government policy. Leg prosthetics, a technology ahead of its time, year 1900. Early advancements in biomechanical support. A priest holds a service for dozens of Titanic victims before burial at sea, 1912. Walter Yeo, the first known patient to undergo plastic surgery in medical history. Alcohol being prepared for destruction during Prohibition in the USA, 1924. A boy reading in a London bookstore after an air raid, 1940. Soldiers celebrate the end of World War II, 1945. General Patton's dog mourning his owner's death, 1945. An Austrian orphan overjoyed by a new pair of shoes, 1946. Albert Einstein's desk, photographed just hours after his death, 1955. Martin Luther King Jr. and his son removing a burned cross from their yard, 1960. Construction of the Berlin Wall, one of the Cold War's most infamous symbols, 1961. Children's reaction to a happy ending at a theater play, 1963. Racial hatred. A hotel owner pours acid into a swimming pool where African Americans are swimming, 1964. A soldier from the 173rd Airborne Brigade, South Vietnam. Marilyn Lovell, wife of Apollo 13 commander, reads front page news, 1970. U.S. President Richard Nixon dines with Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai during historic Beijing visit, 1972. November 11th, 1989. West Berliners watch people tearing down a section of the Berlin Wall to open a new border crossing. The Los Angeles riots, hundreds of stores and homes looted. Queen Elizabeth II visiting the British Army with the L-85 rifle. Queen Elizabeth II visiting the British Army with the L-85 rifle. The release of one of Microsoft's most iconic operating systems, Windows 95. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope these photos impressed you. Some may have made you angry, brought a smile, made you happy, or perhaps even caused some negativity. Feel free to leave your comments and stay tuned for the next part. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Bye.